Hi, my name is Alexis, and today I'll be sharing about how you can get an internship in a role or company with no internship prior experience or a work experience relevant in that industry, or any work experience at all. Especially for my experience, getting an internship in college was very challenging at first and scary because I never had an internship, and also I didn't have any older siblings who've had this experience going through this to tell me, so it was a very hectic start at the beginning. But with couple steps and some things to remember about, it'll make it very easier for you, and I hope you get the internship of your dreams. So first is to identify what area of work you want to get into. So for example, is it tech, technology, medicine, communications, finance, business, and whatnot? Identify what area that you want to target into. It can be multiple, whereas, for example, if you want to be a business analyst, you can do that in a tech industry or a medical industry, but the role that you have identified and kind of industry could help you narrow down your search in the beginning when it seems super overwhelming. So think about, are you interested in specific companies, organizations, or are there roles that you're interested in? For example, communications, something related to communications, or marketing, or software engineering, or product management, and things like that. Second is if you know any upperclassmen or faculty member or advisors in school, those are a great way to get started if they have any idea or experience in that area that you're interested in, asking about opportunities and if they know anyone who's in it. Another thing is looking up on LinkedIn and such, if there are professionals that you know of who are in the similar industry, asking them about how their experience is like, or if you're interested in such area, what you should be looking out for. So 2, where do you look into for these opportunities? For me, I first looked into a lot of job sites such as LinkedIn, Google Jobs, or Glassdoor about what kind of jobs are existing out there. And 2, don't sleep on your school career page. So I went to University of Washington, and we had a website called Handshake. So Handshake is a company that partners up with schools and a lot of other companies to showcase opportunities there. And then a lot of times if you apply through these pages, these are recruitment pipeline dedicated to that college with that company and the role. So you are already kind of differentiating yourself from the general pool of applicants. So take advantage of that in finding for opportunities, what kind of things come up and that you can apply to. 3 is there are job sites that are kind of specifically for college students. For example, I participated and signed up for this website called Jumpstart. I thought it was great because there are a lot of other college students going through the process, and specific kind of opportunities narrowed down into my skill sets. 4 is company sites. So let's say you are interested in applying for Google. Google has a dedicated university roles or kind of internship positions page within their job searching page. So make sure to go in there and see what kind of internships are open, so to see if you can apply and if you're interested in any of those. So 3, now you have identified what area you're interested in, what kind of opportunities are out there. So now what you can do is network. So you can, in the forming of network, so the word could kind of mean very ambiguous and broad and vague when you hear it at first, but it's very simple. You're basically connecting with someone who knows about the opportunity. So this can take in different forms. So 1 is you can reach out to professionals in that company or that team or role. And oftentimes I find LinkedIn to be very helpful with that. So you'll type kind of the company name and then their role, and there will be people who pop up. Don't expect that if you cold message them that they're gonna always respond back, because they have a lot of other things going on and they may not be checking LinkedIn or just have it as a priority to respond as much. However, it's worth the try. So you don't need to have a LinkedIn premium account to do this. You can just make sure when you connect, include a note, add a note in it to say that you would love to connect and learn about their experience working at the company. Don't jump into asking about referrals or just that you're interested in the position and you want them to tell you about it, because they could be very much in a different team that is not exactly that internship of a program, and it could come off as rude if you just ask for a referral to someone that you don't know. So making sure to kind of have that opportunity to conversate with them will be one, a good opportunity for you to get to know about the opportunity, and two, network with a professional who is in that industry and the company or the role. Second is reaching out, really utilizing your school resources. So your upperclassmen, your classmates, and your faculty and your advisors, they've gone through this process before. Ask them about that you're interested in this area, and if they happen to know about opportunities, and if there's anyone that you can connect with, or even talk with them about if they're upperclassmen or other people who've done the internship that you are interested in, talk to them about what their process was like and what they recommend and their advice and such, that which should give you a huge boost in being able to understand the process. And three, if you have a mutual connection on LinkedIn with the person that you want to connect to, so let's say you want to connect with person A, and then you see that you are a second degree connection and there's someone you know that is a mutual connection with the person A, then you can reach out to this person B asking about, hey, I've been really interested in learning more about this opportunity, and I was wondering if you could connect me with this person A if you are, know them well and whatnot. So don't be shy in asking about helping to get connected, so that to A, you're not a total stranger reaching out, but someone that they knows, which is less awkward and uncomfortable. 4 is connecting with recruiters. And if you have their information, it could be great to set up a conversation, chat with them, and kind of accelerate this whole process of applying. But you don't have to always only have their information to get your foot in the door. You can as well apply through the application process from LinkedIn, Google Jobs, or your school website, or just general application pool. But having a referral from any professionals, like even besides recruiters, could really give you a boost for your resume and your application to surface higher up in the pool of other applications. So now next is preparing yourself to go through this application process. So in order to do that, have a resume ready and a cover letter. And I recommend to have a tailored resume for the role that you're interested in. And don't limit yourself in applying thinking that you have to only apply to one type of role. For example, I was interested in data analytics and consulting and product management. So I had 3 different types of resume that tailors into that role, which helped a lot in having a customized resume that is relevant to the role. In doing so, use keywords that often pop up in the job descriptions of these roles. So I looked through multiple product management job descriptions, and I had an Excel sheet or a Google Doc of the commonly popped up words and identifying, okay, like that sounds like a really important skill to have in product management and what they're looking for. Have I had that experience in my resume experiences, and making sure that is on the forefront where resume is clearly showing that I am capable of this job if given the chance. So your job is to make your resume very, very easy for the recruiters and hiring managers to hire you. They are the ones that are reviewing this, and don't make it any harder for them to understand what's going on. So they oftentimes, with a lot of abundant pool of resume, they spend about 6 seconds in reviewing these, and give or take more or less on that time, but very, very quick. So make sure you're to the point of what you're applying to, and your resume shows that in a very well-structured way that it's easy to read. So third is understanding the ATS, applicant tracking systems, that automatically scans through resumes when you apply to the positions. So first, make sure to have your resume submitted in PDF files so you have that format preserved. Because if you just have it in a document, Word doc file, let's say, and then submit that, it can very well change in all kind of margins and fonts and whatnot. If you just submit it that way. So make sure to use PDF, and PDF is the one that these ATS applicant tracking systems use to scan through. So in there, they're going to search for words that help you match help the hiring people match to the right applicants. And these systems are basically searching for the keywords that they're looking for. So the more your resume is tailored towards these positions that you're applying to, the more chance you are applicable to this position, which they would be more happy to bring you in for the interview and go through the process. Lastly, the interview process. In the interview process, what you can expect after you submit your resume, you could be getting an email from a recruiter, and this is just more of a generic process, and it can depend on the company or the role, and there are obviously a lot of different exceptions. But in this case, for example, the recruiter will first reach out, or if you're applying for software engineering or some analytic positions, you could get an automatic kind of a testing thing where you get tested for like a hacker rank, coding challenge, or take-home assignment challenges, so they can kind of assess it from the get-go. And then kind of later you'll get a call from recruiter where they will mainly walk you through your resume asking, okay, tell me about yourself, which is 9 out of 10, like almost always you get asked about. So make sure to practice that question and how you want to answer that question. So after you get a call, they're gonna ask you about your resume. So everything that you put on your resume is going to be fair game for you to answer and them to ask you. So for example, they're gonna talk about, okay, so I see that you have this project on here. Can you tell me more about this project? Or, okay, I see that you have this work experience. Can you tell me more about what you did there? So make sure you know your resume ins and outs so you can answer those questions and give them the confidence that you know what you're talking about and that you are truthful in representing your skills on your resume. Third is when you have an interview, there may be a technical interview. So for example, if it's for more like software engineering, it'll be whiteboard coding challenges where they'll give you a question and then ask them to solve it on the whiteboard. So in these kind of presenting questions or even case interviews with consulting often and other positions, when they want you to solve it in front of them, make sure to walk through your thought process very clearly and give reasoning to all the decisions that you make in the process. So they are looking for your ability to communicate and your reasoning here on top of your technical skills, of course. And then lastly is the behavioral question. So these are oftentimes, tell me about yourself, or tell me about your strengths, tell me about your greatest weakness. Tell me about a time you failed. When was a difficult time you had to work with group mates but you succeeded? Or just all those kind of questions that ask you about different leadership skills, communication skills, and analytical skills, like through these conversations. There are different methods that you can succeed in this and do well. And one example that I can give you now in this video is the STAR method, which is situation, you give them what the situation was, and then T, task, what the task was, and then A, the action, what action did you take, and R, what was the result that came out of these. So the situation. So if you're asked, tell me about a time you failed, you would follow this STAR method to answer this so that you are giving a very effective yet concise answer for the interviewer to understand easily. So getting an internship is no easy job, especially if you haven't gone through the process before. But know that for me personally, I've applied to, I don't even know, probably like hundreds or easily like at least 50 positions to get an interview. So don't be discouraged if you're not getting a call back or response of yeses yet. Just be proud. I know how hard it is to get yourself out there initially, but do the step of applying. Don't tell yourself no, that you're not good enough or that you're not going to get this position, but let them tell you no if they have anything to say about it, and then learn from that. How can I improve my application better? How can I grow so that I grow my weaknesses? So make sure to do that. So just put it out there and you will eventually get it. I've heard a lot of even testimonies of people who got their internship literally at the beginning of summer and getting an opportunity to that. Internship is literally a way to get your foot in the door. So don't be don't be too hard on yourself that you don't have tons of experiences yet. Show your passion, your eagerness to learn, and that kind of the resume and the interviews are proof what you have done so far, which could be in projects or class work, or even different extracurricular events that you've done to showcase that what you're capable of, and then in classes what you've learned combined with that you want to have this practical experience in the workforce to really apply all the things that you learned there. Getting an internship is super helpful and a great way to get to know about if you're interested in something or not, or kind of get a sneak peek of what the role or the industry or the company is like in a short-term summer. But however, don't think that this is the only way that you will get into this opportunities in the future. If you didn't get an internship, that is totally okay as well. It is much of a harder environment right now to recruit 100% virtually with the continued on pandemic and such. You can watch my video on alternative things you can do or here instead of an internship to get yourself the experience that you would be needing for the jobs and the roles that you would be interested in going for in the future. I know it was super devastating for me when I didn't hear back or kept hearing no's, but remembering that these kind of jobs or roles are not the definition or the defining factors of your value is super important as you go through this process. Don't forget that you are a great person and you're a person who is very eager to learn and get these opportunities, and that you are also capable to create these opportunities for yourself. Without these, obviously, if you're interested in learning beyond that, it could be helpful, but always remembering that's not the only way is great. Instead of going for internships at companies, you can go for research positions, working with your faculty members or different organizations, or do more of a short-term, part-time internship for different organizations that you want to help with while practicing your skill sets, that they also need that. Especially if you're, let's say, good with marketing, you can help with small business with marketing or some things like that at a lower cost or even for free, but while gaining your experience. Another thing could be your personal projects, which is super helpful to get that experience and working on a project that you've always wanted to. There are these things as like open source projects where you can contribute your effort in it, and then those could be getting attraction or interest from other companies and positions or teams that always work on this. So you, without being an intern, you can still get these experiences. I know I applied to so many until I heard back, and then even within that interview, you need just one, to say yes, and you will get it. And then just don't be so hard on yourself or thinking that if you're not good enough to apply or not, because you are, because everyone started at some point. So don't constantly compare yourself in this process with all the other classmates or other people on LinkedIn about, I'm so grateful for this opportunity, blah, 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 which is amazing. But they're also showcasing their best kind of version or only the successes in those platforms. So don't compare yourself to them, because you know all about yourself, your successes, but mostly failures that seems very prominent in the trying times of trying to get these internships and getting rejections. But know that they also went through that. It's just that it's not really as presentable or presenting kind of a culture in these platforms. So don't feel down on yourself based off of that. There might be very small fraction of people who just get lucky by applying to one or two places and then get the position. But know that that's also not the common case. And just because you have to apply to multiple positions or opportunities, that you're any less than them. So just keep that in mind, and I wish you the best of the luck, and I'm excited to hear back of your journey and how you're doing. So again, don't be discouraged about this kind of overwhelmingness of applying to internships or getting rejections. You are really on the right track for watching this video and getting started. And please let me know if you have any other questions in the comment below. And I will be coming back with more videos that can help you succeed in whatever paths that you want to take on. So let me know also in that comment so I can make more videos that you are interested in. Thank you. Bye.